Direct and inverse proportion is our fourth unit of this term. Students, before going to do miscellaneous practice problem and challenge problem, let's recall the definitions once again. A ratio is the comparison of two values expressed as a quotient. Example, a class has 12 girls and 18 boys. The ratio of girls to boys is 12 by 18. This ratio can also be expressed as an equivalent fraction 2 by 3. Proportion. A proportion is an equation with the ratio on each side. It is a statement that two ratios are equal. When two ratios are equal, then such type of equality of ratios is called proportion, and their terms are said to be in proportion. Two quantities x and y are said to be in direct proportion if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of their corresponding values remain constant. That is, if x by y is equal to k, then x and y are said to vary directly. Where k is a constant of variation, and the condition of x and y in direct proportion is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. Unitary method. We first find the value of one quantity from the value of the given quantity. Then we use this value to find the value of the required quantity. Steps involved in unitary method. Express the given problem in mathematical statement. Find the value of one unit of the given item using division. Find the value of the required number of same items using multiplication. Inverse proportion occurs when one value increases and the other decreases. For example, more workers on a job would reduce the time to complete the task. They are inversely proportional. The statement B is inversely proportional to M is written as B proportional to 1M, where K is the constant of variation. Here 1 is the constant of variation. Here are some situations that we face in our day-to-day life. Analyze each situation one by one and say what kind of proportions they are. The first one is number of workers on a job and time taken to complete the job. What will happen if 10 workers do the same job? It is sure the time taken will decrease. So here we can see that as the number of workers increases, the time taken by them to complete the work decreases. Hence the situation that the number of workers on a job and time taken to complete the job are in inverse proportion. Area of cultivated land and crop harvested. If we assume in a land of area 500 square meter, we can harvest 50 kilos of crop. It is sure in a land of area 1000 square meter, we can harvest 100 kilos of crop. And also in a land of 1500 square meter, we can harvest 150 kilos of crop. Hence, we notice that as the area of land increases, amount of crop harvested also increases. So, area of cultivated land and crop harvested are in direct proportion. If 15 workers can build a wall in 48 hours, how many workers are required to do the same work in 30 hours? Given 15 workers will do the work in 48 hours. So, to do the same work in less time, there must be more number of workers. So, as the number of workers increases, time taken to complete the work decreases. So, the number of workers and time taken are inversely proportional. Assume number of workers required to build a wall in 30 hours as y. As the number of workers and the number of hours are in inverse proportion, we have 48 into 15 is equal to 30 into y. Now y is equal to 48 into 15 divided by 30. By simplify, we get y is equal to 24. So 24 workers are required to build the wall in 30 hours. There are 100 students in a hostel. Food provision for them lasts for 20 days. How long will these provisions last? If 25 more students join the group, we can easily say that when number of students are more, then the food will last for less number of days. Number of students and number of days the food lasts are in inverse proportion. Number of students so can eat for 20 days is 100. 25 new students join the hostel, so the number of present total students equals 100 plus 25. 125. Now let us assume the number of days the food lasts for 125 students as y. The number of students and number of days are in inverse proportion. We have 100 into 20 equal to 125 into y. So y is equal to 100 into 20 the whole divided by 125. Simplifying, we get y is equal to 16. For 125 students, the food will last for 16 days. Now students, I hope you all understood the topic direct and inverse proportions very well. Now let's do miscellaneous practice problem and challenge problems. First problem. If the cost of 7 kg of onions is rupees 84, find the following. First one, weight of the onions bought for rupees 180. Second one, the cost of 3 kg of onions. Question, we are given with certain informations that the cost of 7 kg of onions is rupees 84. We are asked to find out what will be the quantity of onions will purchase for 180 rupees and what will be the cost of 3 kg of onions. Dear students, this problem is quite different. So here we are going to use two methods. The first one is the condition of direct variation and the second one is unitary method. Students, now form a tabular column and here the quantities which are to be compared are the cost of onions per kg in rupees and weight of the onions in kg. So let it be x and here it is y. And the 84 rupees 7 kg cost is 84 and a which is unknown. We have to find that value. And the cost of a kg onions is 180 rupees. So let A be the weight of the onions required bought for 180 rupees. So here as the cost of onions increases, weight of the onions also increases. Therefore, they are in direct proportion. Friends, in the case of direct proportion, we know that the condition is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. And here we know that x1 is equal to 7 kg of onions and y1 is equal to 84 rupees and x2 is equal to the weight of the onions bought for rupees 180 and y2 is equal to the cost 180 rupees. And here now we are going to substitute all these values in this condition. We get 7 by 84 is equal to 8 by 180. And now we need the value of a. So keep a aside and bring 180 to the other side. So here it is in the division. So it comes to the other side by multiplication. So 7 by 84 into 180. So now cancelling 7 and 84 by 7 table. Here it is 1 time and here in the denominator it is 12 time. So again cancelling 12 and 180. So by using sixth table, here it is 2 times, here it is 30. Now again, shall we cancel this? Here it is 1 time and in the numerator it is 15 times. So A is equal to 15. Therefore, the weight of the onions bought for rupees 180 is 15 kg. Here we are using unitary method. So to find the cost of 3 kg of onions, which is our second question. So what is unitary method? We first find the value of one quantity from the value of the given quantity. First we have to find the value of one quantity from the value of the given quantity. Then we use this value of the required quantity. Okay, so we use this value for the required quantity. So now by using division, we have to find the value of one quantity, that is cost of 1 kg of onion is equal to 84 divided by 7. So when we cancel 84 and 7, we get 12. So 12 sevens are 84. So that is cost of 1 kg of onion is 12 rupees. And here by using this value, we have to find the required quantity, the cost of required quantity, which is the cost of 3 kg of onions. So by multiplying, we can get the cost of 3 kg of onions. So that is cost of 1 kg of onion is 12 rupees. Then what will be the cost of 3 kg of onions? We have to multiply 3 with this cost of 1 kg. That is 12 into 3. So 12 into 3 is 36. 12 3s are 36. So hence we have find that cost of 3 kg of onions is equal to 36 rupees. Now students, let's see the second problem. If C is equal to K into D, what is the relation between C and D? Second one, find K when C is equal to 30 and D is equal to 6. The last question is, find C when D is equal to 10. Given C is equal to K into D. So the first question is, what is the relation between C and D? So C and D. So let's find out. So it can be written as C divided by D is equal to K. What it represents? Yes, this is in the form X by Y is equal to K. So which represents the direct proportion. As C increases, D also increases. So it is direct proportion. So the relation between C and D is, it is in direct proportion. Students, now we know that K is equal to C by D. So from this, K is equal to C by D. And here K is equal to, the value of C is 30. And here D is, it is given that 6. So now when we cancel 6 and 30, here it is 1 time, here it is 5 times. So the value of K is 5. Students, the last question is, find C when D is equal to 10. So it is given that when D is equal to 6, the value of C is 30. And when D is equal to 10, what is the value of C? So let it be C2. And we know that it is the relation between C and D is, it is in direct proportion. So we know that the condition is C1 by D1 is equal to C2 by D2. and substituting all the values to get the unknown. So when D is equal to 10, what is the value of C? To find this value, so let us substitute all these values in this condition. So C1 is 30 divided by D1 is 6 is equal to C2 is, which is unknown, we have to find, and here D2 is 10. So now here when 10 goes to the other side, it becomes into 10, that is multiplication with 30. So 30 into 10 divided by 6 is equal to C2. And here when cancelling 30 and 6 by 6 table, it is 1 time, and here in the numerator it is 5 times. So C2 is equal to 50, which is the required value when D is equal to 10, C is equal to 50. Third problem. Every 3 months, Tamil Selvan deposits rupees 5,000 as savings in his bank account. In how many years he can save rupees 1,50,000? Here, students, Tamil Selvan deposits 5,000 every 3 months. So the question given to us is, how many months will it take for Tamil Selvan to have a bank balance of 1,50,000? So students, here the number of months is definitely will increase along with the amount deposited. Hence this sum falls under direct proportion category. Now form a tabular column, and here number of months and deposit per month are the two quantities which are to be compared, and let it be X and Y. And here for 3 months deposit per month will be 5,000 and 1,50,000 deposit per month. So here the number of months which is unknown, say A. Let the number of months required be A. As the deposit increases, number of months also increases. Therefore, they are in direct proportion. Students, in the case of direct proportion, we know that the condition is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. And here, x1 is equal to 3 months and x2 is equal to A. Here, which is the unknown value, here we have to find the value of A. And y1 is equal to 5,000 and y2 is equal to 1,50,000. Now we are going to substitute all these values in the condition x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. And here x1 is 3 divided by y1 is 5,000 is equal to A by 1,50,000. Now we can write it as is equal to 3 by 5,000. And here we need the value of A. So bring 1,50,000 to the other side. It becomes multiplication of 1,50,000. Here already 5,000 is there. So now cancelling 3 zeros in the numerator as well as in the denominator. And here 150 and here 5. So when we cancel 150 by 5, we get here in the denominator it is 1 time and in the numerator it is 30. 3 5s are 15 and here the remaining 0 is there. So 30. So 3 into 30, which is 90. A is equal to 90 months. Therefore, he can save rupees 1,50,000 in 90 months, which can be also written in years as 7.5 years. Fifth problem. If the cost of 6 cans of juice is rupees 210, then what will be the cost of 4 cans of juice? We are given to understand that the cost of 6 cans of juice is rupees 210. The question before us is, what will be the cost of 4 cans of juice? Here, definitely the cost of 4 cans of juice will be less than 6 cans of juice. Students, when one entity decreases, the other entity also decreases. This also falls under direct proportion. Now students, form a tabular column. Here number of cans of juice and cost in rupees or two quantities which are to be compared, and fill the values which are in the question. And here number of cans increases, cost also increases. So therefore they are in direct proportion. In the direct proportion, we take x1 divided by y1 is equal to x2 divided by y2. And here x1 is equal to 6 cans and y1 is equal to 210 rupees. 6 cans, the cost of 6 cans is 210, and x2 is equal to 4 cans and y2 is equal to a, which is unknown, the cost of 4 cans. So now substituting all the values in this, we get 6 divided by 210 is equal to x2 4 divided by a. Now by cross multiplication we get 6a is equal to 4 into 210. Now a is equal to 400 into 210 divided by the whole divided by 6. So here it is multiplication with this is in product with a. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it goes to the other side. It becomes 1 by 6. So now cancelling 210 and 6 by using third table. Here it is 2 times. Here it is 70 times. Again, when we cancel 2 and 4 by using 2 table, here it is 1 time and here in the numerator it is 2 times. So 2 into 70, that is a is equal to 140. Therefore, the cost of 4 cans of juice is equal to 140 rupees. Sixth question. X varies inversely as twice of y. Given that when y is equal to 6, the value of x is 4. Find the value of x when y is equal to 8. Students, here the solution, in the solution given that x varies inversely as twice of y. So they given inversely. So we know that the condition is x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, x2 into y2. And here the situations are not given, but the quantities are given as x and y. So here x1 is equal to 4 and y1 is equal to 6 and x2 is equal to a, which is unknown. We have to find it. And here y2 is equal to 8. So now we are going to substitute all these values in this condition. We get 4 into 6 is equal to 8 into a into 8. Now we know that when 8 crosses the equal to sign, it comes to the denominator because here it is in the product. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes 1 by 8. So 4 into 6, the whole divided by 8. Now cancelling 4 and 8. Here it is 1 time and here it is 2 time. So again 6 and 2. By using 2 table, here it is 1 time. Here in the numerator it is 3 times. So the value of a is 3. When y is equal to 8, the value of x is 3. Now let us do challenge problems. Eighth problem. If the cost of a dozen soaps is rupees 396. Dozen, it means 12 soaps. What will be the cost of 35 such soaps? Dozen, it means 12. Cost of 1 dozen, that is 12 soaps, is rupees 396. What will be the cost of 35 such soaps is the question before us. Now, definitely the cost increases with the number of soaps. So, dear students, under what category will this problem fall? No doubt, this problem also comes under direct proportion problem. Unitary method. 1 dozen, it means 12. Okay, 12 soaps. So first it is given that cost of 12 soaps is equal to, it is given that rupees 396. So by unitary method, first we have to find the cost of one soap, which is 396 by 12. So by dividing, we get cost of one soap, which is, one time, here it is 33. Now cost of 35 soaps, which is the required value. So for that, what we'll do? We have to multiply 33 with 35. So that is 1155 rupees. So therefore, cost of 35 soaps is equal to rupees 1155. Ninth problem. In a school, there is 7 periods a day, each of 45 minutes duration. How long each period is if the school has 9 periods a day, assuming the number of hours to be the same? Duration of one period is initially said to be 45 minutes and 7 periods are there in a working day. The question before us is, what will be the duration for one period if 9 periods are taken in a working day, having the same duration in a working day? Under what category will this problem fall? No doubt, this problem also comes under inverse proportion problem, because as the number of periods increases, the duration of a period will decrease for the same hours of the school. Form a tabular column, and here number of periods and duration of periods are the two quantities which are to be compared. Let them be x and y. So the values of x, that is the number of periods, 7 and 9, and duration of periods be y1 and y2, which is 45, and y2 is a, which is unknown. Here we have to find a value by using inverse proportion condition. And here let the duration of each period be a. Number of periods. So number of periods increases as duration decreases, since the number of hours is same. Therefore they are in inverse proportion. In the inverse problem, that is, in the inverse proportion, we can take x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Here x1 is equal to 7 periods, and y1 is equal to 45 minutes, and x2 is equal to 9, and y2 is equal to a, which is unknown value. We have to find it. So by substituting all these values in this condition, that is 7 into 45 is equal to 9 into a. So we can write it as 9 into a is equal to 7 into 45. Now we need the value of a. So keep a aside and bring 9 to the other side. So 7 into 45. So when it comes to the other right hand side, it becomes 1 by 9. So multiplication becomes division by transposition method. So a is equal to, now cancelling 9 and 45. Here it is 5 times. Here in the denominator it is 1 time. So remaining we have to multiply 7 and 5. Therefore 7 into 5 is 35. Therefore duration of every period will be 35 minutes. 10 farmers can pluck a field in 21 days. Find the number of days reduced if 14 farmers pluck the same field. Students, here again form a tabular column, and here number of days and number of farmers or the two quantities which are to be compared. So here number of days 21 days and A which is unknown. Number of farmers are 10. 10 farmers complete the work in 21 days and 14 farmers will complete the work in 8 days. So let the required number of days if 14 farmers plugged be A. As the number of farmers increases, number of days definitely will decrease. So they are in inverse. For inverse proportion, we know that the condition is x1 into y1 is equal to x2 into y2, and x1 is equal to 21 days, x2 is equal to A days which is the unknown value, we have to find it, and y1 is equal to 10 farmers and y2 is equal to 14. So now substituting all the values in this condition, we'll get 21 into 10 is equal to x2 into y2, and here A, we need the value of A, so A is equal to 21 into 10. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes, here it is in product with A, so when it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes division of this product. So now cancelling 14 and 21, we get here it is 3 times, here it is 2 times by using sum table, and here 1 time, and by using 2 table, here it is 5. Therefore we get 3 into 5 which is 15. So A is equal to 15 with unknown value A, that is x2 is equal to 15. So initially the farmers worked for 21 days. We know that it is given in the problem that is initially the farmers worked for 21 days. Now we find the value, that is now they worked for 15 days. 15 days. Students, 10 farmers can plug a field in 21 days. It is given in our question. And 14 farmers plug the same field in 15 days. Thus we find it. So the question is, find the number of days reduced if 14 farmers plug the same field. So to find the number of days reduced, we have to subtract 15 from 21, which is 6 days.